Thank you to each and every one of you beautiful people for being here today. It goes without saying that you are all here because you deeply care about the epidemic that is the crimes against our children. You are here because you have to be, just as I am, because you can no longer scroll past the horrific stories and pretend as though they don't exist. Because we know if we do, the problem continues to grow. And because you will never accept the attitude that things will never change, because to accept that attitude, we are saying to our little ones, we give up on you. Children are abused repeatedly and by multiple abusers. They are subject to emotional, physical, psychological and sexual abuse in a way that is deliberate and designed to shatter their minds and break their young spirits. This is in order to keep them victimised and silent. Today, we stand with all survivors. We hear you, we support you, and we believe you. Thank you, Dee, for coming along today to raise your voice for children. South African-born Dee McLaughlin is a film director, a journalist and a humanitarian. She has made 8 feature films, probably most known for her sex trafficking thriller, The Jams, which won multiple awards. She has worked and lived in many parts of the globe, from Africa, the Americas, the UK, and now Australia.
I met this mum and that put me on a journey into family court, children's court, and the actions of government. And so originally I thought, look, there's been a mistake here. It's a mistake. And then I started thinking, actually the system, the child protection system, the family court system's just broken. It's broken. That's what a lot of advocates say, it's broken. And after I had spent 2 years trying to get meetings with and writing to, let me just look at my notes here, ministers, attorney generals, the ombudsman, APRA, all commissioners of corruption, the judicial commissioners, various, almost everyone, police commissioners, everyone, there was a big wall. And then I realized that actually the system's not broken. It is a well-oiled system for removing children. It's not broken at all. It is working in the most malicious and the most disgusting way. When I realized that, and when you realize this, you realize that, for example, there were 45,000 kids under 18 in out-of-home care, and the government is a dangerous parent. This is a study, a scientific study. We are number 1 in the world. I mean, this is incomprehensible. And then you go to court and they go, what do you mean the child was abused? And then false reporting. 1 to 1.5% of children falsely report, and they mostly report falsely to a third party. And then when you land up in court, the child's disbelieved 95% of the time.
For me, I have experienced high levels of trauma, and I'm sure a lot of you have. We keep our masks on pretty tightly and put a plastic smile on and get through the world and the day, but nobody really knows what's going on inside of us. I've battled addiction, depression and anxiety for many years. Suicide was my normal thinking. My older brother took his life 15 years ago, and many of my friends had too, so it was the normal for me. The only public speaking I've done is within the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. I've been clean and sober for just over 10 years. I'm not a survivor of satanic ritual abuse, but just because it hasn't happened to me, it doesn't mean it doesn't matter to me. The more people that open their ears to the truth and hear these survivors' stories, and more importantly, believe them, it will give them courage to stand up and speak their truth. I believe the survivors of satanic ritual abuse are the solutions to the darkness. They are the bright lights that have not been killed. They are survivors of atrocities. It is unspeakable of what has happened to them. There are no words. It is so horrific that 90% of the people on this planet don't want to know about it. They want to sit in their homes, watch their movies, get on Netflix, go out to tea, drink their cups of tea and coffee. They're oblivious and they're blindsided. Amazing grace. We were blind, but now we see. Our eyes are opened and you cannot unsee what you now see. And the truth hurts, but the truth will set you free. We're standing here in our truth, getting ridiculed by everybody out there who sits in the filth and the darkness. Because Jeanette Archer said in her interview that we are going to take them down from the ground and dismantle them. What that did for me is give me hope. Because so many people tell me you will never stop them. So many people tell me that they're too big because they are infiltrated through politicians, through systems that are meant to protect us, through foster care. They funnel the children out. They rape, torture and murder the children. Sounds a bit too horrific, doesn't it? We don't want to ruin our days by speaking about that stuff, do we? It goes higher than that. Jeanette has been subject to abuse through royalty. The very people that look like their lives are in order, the very people that march around believing that we bow to them. We will not bow to them anymore.
Unfortunately, there is a worldwide epidemic of child sexual abuse. And sometimes it's easy to think it only happens over there, in faraway countries. But it is happening right here, on our streets, in our schools and institutions, in family homes. And as we know, it goes right to the top in our own Parliament House. We have, in Australia, sadly, a compromise at the highest of levels. Can anybody tell me who spoke those words? Heffernan. Senator Heffernan goes on to say, having produced a set of documents to the Royal Commission, which includes disturbingly documents that name 28 people as alleged pedophiles. It includes a whole lot of prominent people, judges, barristers. How does everyone feel about this? Disgusted, exactly. There is a former Prime Minister on this list, and it is a police document. Is anyone here okay with a former Prime Minister being listed on a police document as an alleged pedophile with no investigation carried out? It's disgusting. A national disgrace.
I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm an empath and I feel people's pain. Jeanette's story rocked me. But what it did is it got me to ask myself, what is it that I can do? What is it that I can share? If you can just share her story, other survivors will come forward. They will share their story. And I can tell you right now, there are so many survivors out there that are sitting in shame because they are told by their handlers and their cult leaders that if they say something, they will get killed. And I can tell you right now, there are cult leaders at the heads of psychiatry because they know how to split the brain into a form called DID. So those survivors then get told that they've got a mental health disorder. So it means that their story has no credibility.
What are we doing?